Hey guys, okay, I'm gonna try to do one more video tonight, even though it's like 11 o'clock and I'm hella tired. Also, I never noticed that I hold my chin a lot. I wanted to come on and talk about raise versus realignment. We have a lot of people who are newer to the county. They weren't here in 2019 when we ratified the last contract, and so people are a little confused about that. So, quick backstory. Back when we were doing our last contract, our battle cry was nurse retention. We were like, hey, we are known as the training grounds for the county. Nurses come to us, we hire the new grads, we train them for 6 months, for a year, and then they're out of here. Right. And so, we're chronically short-staffed. We're chronically just training up new grads, and we can't keep anybody around. We need to be making better wages. So the county agreed to do a classification study and look at what other people are making in the Bay Area and then bring us up. So realign us. So just to be clear, that's a realignment. That is not a raise. That is bringing you up to where you're supposed to be. So that was supposed to happen way back in the day. That language was put in our contract in 2019 and then pandemic times, right? So the actual classification study and realignment and all of that didn't happen until much later. So when you guys got that 10% realignment, or people are like, oh, I got a 10% raise, you did not. You got realigned with the rest of the Bay Area. And even that, because that was supposed to happen a while back, it's you didn't get the retro pay, did ya? To all the way back to 2019. So yeah, again, that quote raise was not a raise. It was a realignment to bring you in line with the rest of the Bay Area. So that is what this infographic is all about. So let's talk about wages. Across the country, really big strikes have been happening, and hospitals are getting good contracts. They're like, oh, hey, we worked through this whole damn pandemic, pay us. So the Kaiser strike, again, that was historic, and they got some pretty significant raises. Let me find this. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, no. This doesn't have the numbers on it. Okay, here's the numbers, but sorry, I gotta move my little floating head. So you can see they got 21 across the board, 6%, 5%, 5%, and 5%. This is the Stanford agreement. They did their contract for 22 to 25, and I will show you what they got. So Stanford's most recent contract, they got 7%, and then they got, I think it was 766, or no, 755, I don't know. Anyway, I'll show you. The first year they got the first 5% in April, and then the next 2% in December. So here's the second part, or the rest of that 7% for the first year. Here is the 5% that they got for the second year. And here's 5% for the third year. I'm hoping I'm posting the right pictures, but this is all publicly available. You Google Stanford Corona contract, it'll take you right to it. Another thing that Kaiser got are these PSP payouts. So these are based off of performance, because, mind-blowing idea, if nurses are paid better and have better working conditions, the patient outcomes are better and the financial outcomes are better. So I'm going to try to disappear my weird head so you can see this. Ooh, there we go. So they got $1,500 for the first year, and then this is kind of going forward. They either get $300, $700, or $950 for or up to $1,200. I don't even understand how this works, but they get basically bonuses for their hospital performing well. So with all of these hospitals getting these, fair contracts, what is the county offering to us? What is currently on the table? So we originally asked for 18% over 3 years. So I think it was 666. They came back with 112, and they are currently, you can see here, offering us 2%, 2.5%, 2.5%. So, I am going to do a little bit of a math deep dive. So, like, it's going to get thick in here. Hold on to your hats. So, what does that mean? So, say you are a nurse, and I just picked $100 because it's freaking easy, okay? And this is all, I am not an economist. This is like very just example, okay? So say we are currently realigned. We know we're not, but say we are. Okay, so we make $100 an hour, the Stanford nurse and the Kaiser nurse. Everybody's making $100 an hour. Year one happens. We get that 2%. We are now making 102. Stanford got their 7%. They're making 107. Kaiser got their 6%. They're at 106. You can see the numbers over year two. By year three, we're at 107. They're at 117 and 116. So they're making about $10 more an hour than us. So what happened to that realignment that we all got, that we fought for in 2019? That disappears. And then if you look at kind of yearly inflation, I put it at 3.8%, and I only got that from I looked at historic inflation rates from like the 1900s to 2022, and that was the average. We all know inflation is actually higher right now, but that's, I had to use a number. So if you do that, basically, I took, that 107% that or 107 that you would be making, but like take off that 3.5 or 3.8% because of inflation. So you're really only bringing yourself up to like $103 an hour. So you can kind of see what that calculates out to, like yearly wage. It makes a big difference. We're talking about them getting like 20 grand or over 20 grand more. So our realignment disappears. So again, this is what the county's coming back at us with. We're asking for, 667. They're offering us 2.5. It's not cool, you guys. It doesn't even keep up with inflation. So basically, at the end of 3 years from now, you're taking a pay cut. So if you kind of think about it that way. Another thing I'm going to bring it on back to is retirement. Lots of young nurses. I just barely started thinking about it. Sorry, I know I'm old and I'm like, oh crap, I should pay attention to this. So your retirement it's this whole calculation, blah, blah, blah. You can go on the CalPERS website and, sign in and figure it out. But it's based on your last, your final wages. Like, how much are you making when you retire? That is what's going to determine how much you make in retirement. Like, what you get to live off of for the rest of your life. And I hope it's long and lovely. But that, we already know that there's a cap on it for the people who started after 2013. And if you just kind of extrapolate out, if we keep getting these contracts that suck, or they give us realignment, but then they basically take it away 3 years later, think about it. What does that look like in 20 years? How much less are you making? And then how much less do you have to live off of in 20, 30 years from now, when you're on a fixed income and you're retired. So things to think about. I know we're all so young and beautiful and we'll never ever get old, but we will. I mean, I'm hella old. It's already showing in my back, right? And so we have to think about these things. Also want to clarify that this is a captain's hat. Okay, like an airline captain or a sea captain or, I don't know, a strike captain. I'm not the Pope. I mean, I could be. If you want me to be, I'll try. Okay, you guys, have a good one.